You need this core skill in order to boost your IELTS score. And this skill is called paraphrasing. But what is paraphrasing? Paraphrasing is the process of rephrasing or rewording ideas or information in your own words without changing the original meaning. In the IELTS test, paraphrasing is a key skill the examiners look for, and it's used in all 4 sections, but for slightly different purposes in each. Here's how it shows up. Let's start with listening. In the listening section, the question and the recording often use different words with the same meaning. For example, the audio might say, "She decided to take the bus," but the question might ask, "What form of public transport did she choose?" To get the right answer, you need to recognize that bus is a type of public transport, and that the verb choose matches decide. My top tier tips: make sure to spot synonyms, changes in word form, and restructured sentences. In the reading section, most answers require you to match ideas from the passage to reworded questions. For instance, the passage text may say, "The population has grown rapidly," while the question says, "There has been a sharp increase in the number of inhabitants." In that reading example, paraphrasing applies in the same way as in listening. The IELTS test writers have reworded the idea from the passage so that you can't just look for identical words. Here's the breakdown. First, population is the same as number of inhabitants. Then, has grown is similar in meaning to increase. Also, the words rapidly and sharp both express or highlight speed or intensity. In reading, you're not producing the paraphrase, you're recognizing it. Your task is to match meaning, not exact wording. So, when you see sharp increase in inhabitants in the question, you have to realize it's talking about population growth in the passage. In short, paraphrasing here is a trap for those who rely only on keyword spotting. The test wants you to notice meaning-based connections, even when no words are the same. My top-tier tips for IELTS reading: focus on meaning, not just identical words. IELTS loves testing your ability to recognize rephrased ideas. In IELTS speaking, paraphrasing demonstrates your flexibility in using the English language, and it also prevents repetition of words or phrases. If the examiner asks, "What's your favorite food?" you don't have to repeat,
"My favorite food is bibimbap."
You could say,
"I really enjoy eating bibimbap."
Or an alternative like,
"I'm especially fond of bibimbap."
In that speaking example, paraphrasing applies to your own language production by expressing the same idea in different words. The candidate in the example was able to use phrases such as really enjoy and especially fond of as substitutes for the word favorite. In IELTS speaking, you don't just recognize paraphrases, you actively create them. As for my top-tier tips, avoid overusing exact words from the question. Ensure your responses show varying expressions and sentence structures. Finally, writing. Paraphrasing is essential in your Task 1 introduction and when rewording the question in Task 2 to avoid copying. Look at this example of an IELTS writing Task 1 question prompt. In this sample task response, the candidate just copied the prompt. Remember that you're going to score low in the writing section if you do this. Then, here's a paraphrased introduction, which is a better approach for your writing task. Let's analyze. First, the candidate rewrote "the chart below shows" as "the bar chart illustrates." He was able to state the type of the chart used in the writing task. Also, he managed to substitute the word show with the word illustrate. The candidate also utilized these words and phrases to replace the ones from the task prompt. I'm highlighting them with color-coded markers. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. Meanwhile, here's a question prompt for writing Task 2. Your task is to write a 250-word argumentative essay. Discuss both views about children starting school at an early or latter age, and then give your thoughts about it. Here's a sample Task 2 introduction. It presents the 2 opposing views from the prompt, and the candidate clearly states that the essay will be tackling both and will include his opinion about the topic. Here's a breakdown of the changes made. These show the examiner that you can vary vocabulary and grammar while preserving meaning, which is a key part of the lexical resource and grammatical range scores. Here are my top-tier tips for writing. Ensure to mix vocabulary changes with grammar changes, such as changing word orders, changing clauses, and using synonyms naturally. That's it, guys. To sum up, paraphrasing in IELTS is about restating the same idea in different words while keeping the meaning intact. It proves to examiners that you understand the question, can process information, and have a flexible command of English. So guys, remember this. With constant practice and a focus on understanding, you can approach the IELTS with confidence and achieve the score you aim for. I'll see you next time.